Welcome back. We're talking about desires, finally, about outcomes, about what we truly want. I'm going to start sharing my screen again. I hope you're enjoying the course now and started applying the strategies and expressing your positive feelings, because this will change your life. This will actually change your life. Again, take responsibility. I because it's a digital course, I cannot talk to you weekly and clean up your mind and see why you're taking action or you're not taking action. So take responsibility. You have everything you need, right? You have the strategies, just apply them. Just do the exercises when I ask you to do the exercises. Just to remember the process, awareness, abundance, attention. And now we are at the part of desires. We're gonna get into what you really want, what outcome you really want, how to express it, and being loyal to your desires, actually being loyal to your desires. How I see it is that desires are the spark of our soul. So as children, we knew what we wanted, right? You see children, they know what we want and they express it a lot of times. We did not care about the logic of it, how it's possible, how it's not, but somehow we believed it's possible, right? And we had that spark in our eyes. And we would say it over and over aloud. We knew we are worthy of it. I'm thinking of my daughter, how she wants a pony. And she never gives up, right? Like even if we explain her, like we need to move to have a big yard for that, like to have a farm and things like that. Like she still thinks it's possible, right? And she comes with solutions. And she repeats it to us. She still has the spark. Unfortunately, what we do as adults, we come with all the logic, right? We'll explain over and over logically why the wish is not possible. And at some point, we kind of kill that spark in our children, and teachers and maybe parents killed the spark in us. But at the beginning, as I said with my daughter, the child will be loyal to the desire and express it more, ask for it, right? Until that spark somehow dies with years. Many times it will become true. That I saw this again for children, and I saw myself finding solutions for actually moving to the countryside and buying a pony, right? When someone desires something so bad, and we see this again with children, like the children ask for something and the parents will say, well, it's not possible because of that, because of that. The child will insist and the parent will somehow think and find solutions, right, for it. So most of the times we forget about them, though, and the logical part of our brain takes over. And slowly with time, we kind of, even if somehow a desire comes in our mind, we cut it down with our logic, and our brain will say, well, it's not possible because, right? So we as adults, we will say those things back to us, like maybe we somehow tap into, or we think about the desire that we would like to go to Maui or have a house on the beach, ocean front, right? But then our brain will say, well, I cannot move in a country where there's an ocean, or we don't have money, or that, right? So our logic will come, and we will do this dynamic of what other adults did with us, unfortunately. um, Again, as I said, I think desires are the spark in our eyes. They are our fuel. They make us feel alive. Also, our desires matter, and it is important to express them aloud. No matter how silly they seem, or no matter how big, what big wishes they seem, our desires still matter. There was this study, and they found that planning a vacation, even knowing that you won't go, so even knowing that you won't go to that vacation, but actually looking at pictures, at hotels and airplane and everything, will put you in a good mood, because you're starting to dream and starting to think about your wishes. So we are worthy of our wishes, of our dreams, of our desires, and they won't all come true. I am remembering a Chinese curse that says that may all your desires come true, because it would be boring if all our desires would come true, right? But it is important to honor our desires, to speak them out loud, and to connect with them. Even thinking about them, we give ourselves importance, right? And we have, again, that spark, and we feel a bit alive when we have goals and dreams and wishes. Pure desires are, they define what we want. So this is what I want you to get to now, to thinking about exactly what you want, the end result, the outcome, right? So it is not attached to how it will become true. It is not attached, not even to a person, right? Desires are not needy, they are more dreamy. When you express them, you don't express them like, I need you to do this in order to be happy. I'm dreaming about this, but I'm already happy. I'm already enough. I'm already loved. But wouldn't it be nice? I would love this. I would love the other. How inspiring is when you hear someone speak like that. So we know we are worthy of them. We are worthy of them. That desire wouldn't be in our mind if it wouldn't be possible, or if it wouldn't, if we weren't worthy of them, right? What I also remember about desires, that, and what I also observe, that we like to make wishes come true. We love to make others happy. And this is especially true in love relationships. A man especially likes and loves to make his wife happy, because he takes his worth, him being a good enough husband, and his levels of testosterone and ego grows when he knows he can make someone happy. But I do remember there was a site a long time ago, I don't know if it still exists, where people wrote wishes, and other people read the wishes, and they saw, oh, I can make this wish come true. Like someone wanted to visit something, or someone needed, I don't know what kind of ball, or, and there were small wishes and big wishes, but there were people logging into the website, not only writing their wishes, but helping other people make them wish their wishes come true. And that was like the best part. And of course, the people who felt the happiest, they made a study on this, were the people who gave, right? The people who made others happy. So you will maybe think about, especially women, today, we give a lot, but we don't give from this place of abundance. We give from the place of sacrifice. We do this with our husbands, with our kids, with the home. We do things, a lot of things. We give a lot, but we don't give from a place of abundance and enoughness and worthiness. We somehow expect something in exchange, or we think we should do this. We're not giving unattached and happy and relaxed. We're giving like as a sacrifice. So there's a difference in this, right? So we love to make others happy as long as it does not contradict our basic psychological need for autonomy, as long as we don't feel controlled or manipulated. So again, when we express something with neediness, with clinginess, or you should do this, a husband should do this, you should do this to make me happy, I need you to make this to do this to make me happy, the other person will feel controlled and manipulated, and their brain will say like, no way, just to guard their like basic psychological need for autonomy. Especially men, they take their happiness again and worth by making their wives happy. So they want, your husband also wants to make you happy, but he doesn't want to be controlled. So he needs to feel he does it because he wants to, right? And he's inspired to do it, not because you need it, not because he should, right? Again, coming from a place of abundance and enoughness and worthiness. So I want to ask you, what do you actually want? And give importance to this daily. Think about, what do you want? What are your wishes? What are your desires? And I want to give you some examples of pure desire. So instead of saying, I want him to participate more in cleaning the home, you actually want a clean home. I want him to take me out for a romantic dinner. The pure desire, the pure outcome, what you want. I want to go on a romantic date, right? So that way, the husband, your partner doesn't feel controlled. Okay, she wants to go on a romantic date. That would make her happy. Well, I want her to be happy, and he can't feel like inspired to take the steps. So it has to be his initiative, right? If you're thinking, I want him to hug me and kiss me more, I want a hug. It's so simple. I want a hug. Or even I need a hug, but when you're saying it dreamy, not with neediness, right? Like, I need a hug. I need you to hug me daily. I know this is me. I'm doing me now. I'm acting out me 5 years ago, right? So I need hugs. I cannot live without hugs. But I was saying it with true neediness, right? But when you say, "Oh, I need a hug. I've had such a bad day. I need a hug. I just want a hug," right? When I'm saying it with this dreamy, I know you love me even if you don't hug me, then he will hug me more, right? Okay, so I'm going back again. Stop the video, think about what do you actually want and give importance to it, right? Actually think about your pure desire. And then if you stop the video and do the exercise, these are the magic phrases to express these desires. I want ... It can be anything. Start with small, go to big. I want some wine, even if there's no wine in the home. You can say like, you know it, there's no wine in the home. You're not attached to my husband should go buy me some wine. You just said, I want some wine. Like, I would love some wine. I'm dreaming of having a glass of wine. It would be the best to have some wine in the house. It would feel so awesome to have a glass of wine. It would make me incredibly happy to drink a glass of wine. So I use all the sentences, right? It doesn't say you should go buy me some wine, or you don't. You express it even if you know, like, you don't have it, or maybe it's the middle of the night, right? But you deserve to express it. You have to say it out loud. You have to connect to your desires, what you want, what those outcomes, right? What you want, and express it, because you are important. You are worthy of it. It's not even important if it happens or not, but acknowledging it, it gives you, again, that life back, that spark. I want to address these two things. So what if your brain gives you logical reason for why something is not possible? Like, we don't have money, it's dark, it's cold, it's whatever. We don't have vacation, we don't have holiday time. And what if your partner gives you logical reason for why it is not possible? I want to address these two things. What would you do? Probably most of you would be just be bummed. If you are upset, if your husband says no and gives you logical reasons, then it means you are still attached to it, right? It still means it wasn't pure, but it's okay. I want to address it. So honoring your desires means you express them either way, no matter what your brain serves you with. No matter if your brain says it's not possible because it's cold, it's October, it's not the time, you don't have money, you're too fat, or whatever. You express your desires because they matter. No matter, like, you express them because that's how you honor them. You don't express them and expect that every desire will come true, but you matter and your desires matter. I know I said it 100 times, but it's important for you to understand, because again, this gives you your life back, your spark back, right? And I want to invite you, like, be loyal to desires. It means, I'm calling this, I don't know where I heard it, but I loved it so much, like holding your pose. So even if your brain or your husband serves you like with logical reasons why it's not possible, you still want them anyway. Like, there's logic and there's desires. They're not on the same level, right? Again, no matter what your partner says, you still want what you want, right? So he can say anything, or your brain can say anything. He's not, he's well-intended. It doesn't mean that if he comes with logical reasons why it's not possible, that he doesn't want to give it to you. He just thinks logically, right? So he's talking on that logical level. Desires are on another level, on a higher vibration, and you get to want what you want, no matter the roadblocks. And what I noticed is that the bigger the roadblocks, the better, because the bigger the roadblocks, when you get that thing, you are even like maybe happier, right? And also, if there are big roadblocks to your desire getting accomplished, and if your husband does it for you, he will be a bigger hero. So actually, sometimes men say, well, it's not possible because XYZ. And you say, yeah, well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I want it anyway. It would be so nice. Wouldn't it be nice to go to Maui right now? Like, even if we don't have vacation days and we have all the year planned and everything. Yeah, but wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be cool? I would be so happy. I would love it so much. And if he finds a way to accomplish your desire, he will be an even bigger hero because there were so many roadblocks, and you can appreciate him so much more because that's what he wants ultimately, right? So he wants you to be happy. He wants to be your hero and accomplish your desires. And his reward is you appreciating him and thanking him for being your hero and accomplishing your desires. And it can start with small things like I want a glass of water, to big things. Again, like I want to have a house in Maui. I'm just giving examples right now, so you get the point. I want to mention some case studies. So Karina, she wanted a romantic dinner during COVID pandemic, right? And her husband said, well, it's not possible. The restaurants are not open, or I don't want to wear a mask, and so on and so forth. She said, yeah, it sounds like she agreed with the logic, but she hold her pose for I still would love to go on a romantic dinner. I miss going out for dinner. I miss having a romantic dinner. And he found a way. Like, he made a picnic. They went on the lake, like near a lake, and they had a nice romantic dinner near a lake with candles and everything, because she mentioned it so much and she was loyal to her desire, no matter the roadblocks, no matter the logical explanations. She wanted her romantic dinner. Sophie, she wanted some house improvements, and they argued about that for years and years and years. That's the first thing she told me when we started coaching. She said, like, he doesn't acknowledge that I'm smart, like my ways are better, and so on. He doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to change that. And it was a big argue point, contention point in their relationship. So when she started to express that, like, I would still love it, and because he was coming with a lot of logical reason that it will be very expensive, it will ruin the maybe the aesthetic of the house, and so on. He came with a lot of logical reasons, and she stopped because what she was doing, she was fighting with the logic and giving arguments and counter arguments to his arguments. So they were going back and forth on this logical level. She stopped all that. So she stopped explaining, no, we can make it be cheaper, we can make it better, and so on. She stopped with that. She said, yeah, I would still love it. I would be so happy. I would love it so much. This is how I envisioned the house I'm going to live in. And she started talking only about what she desires. And of course, it happened. Surprise, surprise. For me, it wasn't a surprise. Also, Nella, they were going and visiting their in-laws weekly, which for her was a lot, even if she didn't hate them, but she just wanted to stay home more often. And it was, again, a point of contention, because for him it was important, it was a family tradition to meet with his parents every week, and it sounds like a nice tradition, and it was important that all family came. Like, it was disrespectful in their culture that she doesn't come, right? She couldn't stay at home, and they were always fighting about this. She ended up going there, but being frustrated and not happy, and she started, even like in those moments, she felt like she hated the in-laws, even though they didn't have anything to do with it, right? And she started expressing more and more, like not going against the in-laws, against their habitude of their tradition of meeting and everything, not mentioning anything about that, but just mentioning, I would love to stay in and watch a movie. I would like to stay home. I'm tired. I would like to stay home. So again, nothing with the in-laws, nothing with their tradition, nothing, not fighting with them, right? So she said, of course, he said, yeah, here we go again. Like, we have to go. Yeah, I understand. Like, I love your parents. I love you. And I love to go there. I'm simply very tired and I would love to stay in and watch a movie with you. And of course, he was then able to call the parents and say they will go in another day at lunch. Again, she didn't go, she didn't fight, she didn't speak on that logical level. She just expressed what she wanted, and it's something else, right? Like no one can take what you want away with all the logic in the world, right? You get to want what you want. Marie wanted a new car, and her husband always said, like, this is still good enough, like it's still relatively new, you know, and so on and so forth. She expressed, yeah, wouldn't it be nice? She was looking on her laptop on pictures with the car she wanted. And of course, she had the car. Again, she held her pose, right? Like you are loyal, you're not fighting with all the logical, you're loyal to your desire and you express it, and you're not attached to having it, right? You're expressing it because you know your desires matter. Diane, she wanted time alone. She has a big family, 5 children, and she just wanted time alone. And of course, when you have five children with even with nannies and help and family, it always seems like you don't have enough time. And she expressed this, you know, not in a way that you should give me this because I deserve it, because I'm exhausted and so on. I just wish I could have a weekend alone. And of course it was possible. He helped her and it made it possible that she went on a weekend alone. Well, it was one night, but 2 days still, and she went on a spa and so on, and nobody died. Everything was okay. And again, it's another example of how staying loyal to your desires matter. So think again, what outcomes do you want? Write down as many things as possible, right? About the outcomes, about the what of the what, not the how, right? And I can give you this idea with 100 wish list. And I think this was the site I was mentioning, like writing 100 things that you wish to do or have during your lifetime. And again, if you come from abundance, right? And if you make a list of 100 things that you wish in a lifetime, and if you come from abundance, you're not going to write only things that you don't have and wish to have. You can write things that you already have, right? And acknowledge the things you have. For example, I want a house. Well, I have. I want a husband. I have. I want the children. I have that child. So you can start, I think, the wish list. It's so much powerful if you started with the things you already have and you want for your life, but you already have them, and see how, wow, this is great. And I didn't acknowledge this, right? These are 100 things that I want in a lifetime, and these are the things that I already have. That's cool. That means it's super possible to have the rest of the things from the list. But this is separate, right? So what you want to express, like to your husband and to anyone and into the world and out loud, even if you're alone at home, your small and big desires of what you want. And it can be, I will give you a few examples. Oh, I don't have the examples here. Again, it can be, think about the ultimate outcome, not how it will happen. If you want a clean kitchen, then you say a clean kitchen, not I want you to clean the kitchen. And be mindful of this. I had many examples in my practice where women expressed that they want a clean kitchen, and the husband hired a maid, and they weren't happy. Right? So he gave her what she wanted, like clean kitchen and help, right? But she wanted him to clean the kitchen. So this is very common. Be mindful, because when you're attached to who will do, like what would you think he will do? Like you will think he loves you and he appreciates you. Find evidence for that thought that he loves you and appreciates you in another way. But if that's your desire to have a clean kitchen, who cares how the kitchen gets cleaned, right? Or another husband, he made the kitchen, the children can clean the kitchen, so he asked the children. But of course, that this was another wife, but she wanted him to do it. Like if he will do it, then it means he appreciates me. Well, and he will understand what I have to do all day long. Well, if he helps you, that's the most important part, right? So think about the what, not about the how it will be accomplished. right? So, and you can be the specific, so to avoid these kinds of situations where something doesn't happen exactly as you want it. Like for example, you say, I want to go out on a romantic dinner, and your husband takes you out to a Chinese restaurant or a Thai restaurant, but you don't love it, right? Like if you know what you want, like, I would love to eat sushi tonight. I would love to eat, I don't know, Italian tonight, right? You don't say exactly what restaurant, because that's what you want from him. You want him to be romantic, to have initiative. So let him make some decision, let it come from him, but give him some specific, some indication. I want to go on a romantic date. I want to go to an Italian restaurant. So I hope you got it, and you have a lot of homework now. Like, think about your desires and express them. And I'll see you in the next video when we're talking about the last step, like what you do after your desires are accomplished. See you soon.